My name is Benny Martinez. I'm the Chief Deputy for the County of Brooks. We took office back in 2009, which gives me approximately 65 months of being in this position. Well, the impact we are receiving has to do a lot with the drop-offs, which is south of the checkpoint. The constant pursuits down south in that county area down here, and those that do go across, they're circumventing the checkpoint. Now they're getting bold to the point where any vehicle that's on the ranch site or campsite, if they can get their hands on it and get it cranked up, they're going to utilize it to come across pastures, as they did a tractor about 6 months ago. They utilized a tractor and they came across about 10 to 15 fence lines. And that's the other one happened on the east side of 281, where they literally just destroyed the tractor for no reason. They just got into the cab and just destroyed it. For no reason. There was no way. I'm guessing they made an attempt to get it cranked up, and they didn't, so they just destroyed it. You know, it's a lot of money in equipment like that. I think the first incident probably occurred maybe 6 months ago. This other one probably within the last 14, 15 days. So that's the impact we're getting besides the breaking of windows and going inside and just, you know, kind of like running through camps, or the ransacking, looking for food, or even taking weapons at times. Issues like that we've never had before. Not in this type of time frame. It's happening more often now than it was prior, where you had maybe almost 8-10 months before an incident like this would happen. Now it's happening more regularly because of you having a different type of group coming through now, more aggressive. Well, you have to understand, when you probably get more of the core criminals coming through now, and that's the scary part. You know, the fact that you have to heighten yourself, because not only do you have a mixture of adults, male and female, but now you have a mixture of children at times, plus the criminal still in control. The gang members are still in control. The cartels are still in control of this whole setup. And they're determined to get themselves across, whether with narcotics, if they're carrying narcotics, or a group of people. And I'll share this with you. It just happened maybe last week. We had a gentleman from Boston that showed up looking for his sister. His sister got sick, was laid up on private ranch, and they didn't call us until the brush guy, the coyote, got up to Boston and told them, look, I left her at this location. So that took maybe 3 or 4 days to get up there, then another day or two for the brother to come down. So now you're looking at several days before we even got notice that there was someone out there. I think we recovered the body, and it didn't look like the sister. You know, it'd been out there already a couple of days, and it just didn't look like a human being anymore. It was just getting to the skeleton remains. Hey, the weather's hot. The animals are vicious, and there's not going to be much left at the end of the day. You know, and this is very frustrating, because they don't call us as soon as possible. They'd rather get themselves up to where they're going, not get detected, and then they call back. So far we have 35. In fact, we recovered 2 today. At this point, we're right as we were in 2012, when we had 129. We're right almost approximate same number. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 higher. So it all depends on the weather now, and it depends on the influx of these folks coming in. If the weather gets hot and the trend continues, it's going to go up. We're filtering these bodies over to the medical examiner in Laredo with Dr. Stern, and the amount pretty much runs around $2,200 per body. And yes, and we still are taking we're still absorbing the cost. We have gotten reimbursement from the state only, and it's been about 152,000, which we're currently utilizing. And I believe we had a meeting on Monday up in Austin, and I believe we're going to go right back and get another one. We're going to be funded again for some more monies. I have not gotten any response from the federal government yet. I would refer to it as work in progress. You know, things in Washington kind of moves kind of slow. Not only do we deal with people on recoveries, that's constant, but you also deal with the 911 rescues that come through our office. Is our communications department is pretty much the epic center of all 911s. And I think last week, on a given day, one afternoon, they were working on 3 different groups that were lost, and they were all calling in at the same time. So that was very, very hard in the sense that it was trying to get the coordinates, the correct coordinates, to get people out there, because they kept constantly moving. And it's real difficult because they got to call back again. Then you got to triangulate the phone call to the closest mile at least. The calls are frequent. I can't say that that a day doesn't go by that we don't get at least one call about that. So it's frequent, and I know that we filter it out to Border Patrol to see if we can get something happening, something to go out there and respond. But of course they're also busy, and we're hoping to kind of get our little search and rescue up and running, and that would help us on time, as far as time frame in getting out there and quicker response. The coyote's gone. He's absolutely gone. He's not going to be around. He's not going to be watching us or anything. My thoughts are, these people that hire them, they pretty much know who the coyote is. This is why they don't really give us so much information, because they know the coyote knows who they are, and they don't want no retaliation. So they minimize that. They try to distance themselves from the guide. A bailout it's a vehicle, a truck, a car, any type of conveyance, and what it contains anywhere between, on the average, between 15 to 20 bodies inside a vehicle. So when the police starts, they make an attempt to stop this vehicle, they're going to bust through a fence and create fence damage, and then the 20 will run off into the brush, and now we have to deal with that down the road if in case someone does get injured during this, when they go off the road into the brush. If someone was to get injured while they're in the vehicle, then they wander off, and if they're hurt to a point where they won't be able to maintain themselves well, I'm guessing we're going to recover that body at a later date. So, and that happens often. Most of the vehicles that we come across are stolen vehicles. They're usually stolen out of the Houston area, San Antonio, or even closer to the area. They're brought down to our city here. Okay. And this is the pickups. This is a pickup stage right here in our city, north of the checkpoint. Yes. That involves gang members from whatever entity, whether it be Houston or San Antonio or even Dallas. It all depends where they're coming from. This is just a different cell. The transportation is another cell of the organization. I saw a note on one of the vehicles, and it was written in Spanish, and it was describing the pickup location, which is you go down 3 bridges, look for something that's yellow and stop there, etc., etc. So these guys already have what we refer to as intelligence. Someone else came up and did all that legwork for them. They get on the phone and they'll call that pickup person and says, okay, this is what you're looking at, and this is where you're going to go. So their intelligence is probably just as strong as ours, because lots of them get through. You don't have a whole lot of law presence, so you stop a vehicle out of maybe 4 or 5 out of 20. That's how much you take it into custody. This particular cell is in the U.S. You have your cells that are on the south end that are responsible to get them up to a certain point. Then you have the northern parts, the northern side of the cells, to come in, pick them up, and take them back. So you do have 2 different cells working, the same organization but different role. We respond to recovering bodies, to bailouts. You still got your 911 calls that come in, or if a body gets through, a body of people get through, they'll go knock on doors locally on our community. So we have to respond to those calls. Yeah. So there's always a constant call about immigration issues.